So Kevin, every board, every senior management team, right now they're in scenario planning.
Correct.
And the things that people are talking about, and because I'm really part of it, I'm also involved in it, is this going to end in the short term, mid-term, long term? Will we ever go back to what we used to know as normal? Yeah? So I'd like us to just consider maybe 2 scenarios so that we just simplify it. All the other scenarios can fit in. 0 to 6 months. One scenario, this maybe ends up in 6 months' time.
Yeah.
We arrest the COVID issue. I think there's a lot of conversation that the coronavirus is a seasonal disease. So summer is coming up, and that may just kill it.
Yeah.
Or at least give us a breather.
Correct.
So therefore, 6 months could actually be feasible if it's a seasonal disease. Maybe let's address this particular scenario. What do you think is
so?
Or do you want us to address both scenarios at the same time?
I think we'll touch on them, both of them at the same time.
So maybe let me then explain the scenarios.
Yes.
Scenario 1 is that coronavirus is a seasonal disease.
In 6 months, it's out.
In 6 months, it's out. Summer comes and we get a breather, or we kill it. Scenario 2, we actually don't have a time frame. It can spiral out of control, and can take us 1 year, or it can take us many years for us to ever be able to arrest it. Yeah. What are the implications of all this?
I think when you're talking about, it's an interesting question, when you're talking about all boards of companies or all managers or all entrepreneurs, I think when you're
governments,
the world over, when you're doing our strategies, planning and all that stuff, is my advice to them is plan as if it's with us forever. Understand? Yeah, it could be with us, as you're saying, in the scenario 1, it could be with us for 6 months.
Take the worst case scenario.
Yes, take the worst case scenario.
Yes.
Plan with that, adjust to that, let the 6 months surprise you. You understand? You'll be like, oh, okay, 6 months it's out, but you'd already planned for the worst. So it's really easy for you to readjust, and now you'll be looking at potential upsides.
So prepare for the worst.
Prepare for the worst.
Prepare for the worst.
Yes.
Be pleasantly surprised.
Be pleasantly surprised, to put it better. So yeah, again, if now we're talking about 6 months is, remember again, this is, it's new to us. It's COVID-19. It's new to us. Of course, there are clinical trials ongoing as we're talking. We have, I think guys were trying chloroquine in combination with another drug in the US. It just started on Monday in New York. We don't know how far or how effective it will be. We've seen China telling them don't dare, because more than 2 milligrams a day can kill a person. So I don't know how they're actually doing it, and also how they're going to account for the side effects thereafter, because it's a very powerful drug.
You know, we've had chloroquine in Africa
for the longest time.
For the longest.
Yes.
Probably we are the only ones who have been manufacturing
chloroquine. Antibodies are full with chloroquine.
It feels like we are going a full circle.
Correct. So yeah, I mean, China, this drug is manufactured in China, and they're really cautioning the US against it here. But the US still went ahead, and they started the test in New York, which is the most ravaged city in the America. So again, 6 months, if the chloroquine works, or we find an antivirus, or the disease, again, as you said, seasonal, and summer comes and it goes, which means, again, the next winter we are having it might reoccur. But again, for 6 months, if indeed this thing lasts 6 months for us, is to make sure that we support our economy as much as possible. You know, we already know the time frame, is to make sure we support, for investors, you and I, these are cheap buys, again, get them, support these companies, you understand? For all these companies, let it be BAU as usual, you know, business as usual in terms of keep your staff. And I think the government is really pushing employers. If you look at the developed worlds, especially in the UK, they're almost giving a grant to every business owner to make sure that they're able to, at the very least, pay wages. They've frozen all payments to banks, frozen all mortgages and tenancy agreements. It's now about making sure you retain your employee, because the government knows, again, that is the only way to get money to you for you to spend. Again, we don't have that luxury here in Kenya, but I think for all the companies, if indeed this thing will be here for a short time, is to just make sure we are able to, for the government, one is to make sure it supports the wage economy, and for businesses to make sure they support the formal sector. And so that way we are all covered.
Yeah.